Hello, welcome to the SHAC. And earlier on we tried to do some live streaming, but the internet just crashed so much that we decided to cut and record so that you can enjoy a nice mindful session and just a relaxing half hour of doodling as we want to do every day. So I'm sorry about that, but you know, we have to work with what we've got, and I have no idea. I guess that everybody's at home, everybody's on the internet up the road. I don't know. But do you know what? It's okay. It's the least of our worries, isn't it? Really it is. So we're going to have a little arty session, a little arty workout, and we're going to just stretch ourselves. We're going to clear our mind. I could certainly do with clearing my mind right now. You know, these things happen. And as I said, it's not what happens. It's never what happens. It's never the event. It's how we respond to it, isn't it, that will ultimately affect us. So I thought, right, I'll have a cup of tea. I do like a cup of tea. Must be the English in me. I'll have a cup of tea, clear the head, and then we'll get started again. So how are you? Here we're in Crowborough, just outside Tunbridge Wells. It's a glorious sunny day. It's the 1st of April. It's our son's birthday. It's Mark's 28th birthday today over in California. So I wish Mark a really happy birthday. And yeah, it's a beautiful sunny day. I'd love to know where you are. Leave a comment below and let me know where you are. Because I think one of the things about this whole pandemic that we're all in at the moment is the fact that it's affecting every single person in the world. There's nobody that's escaping this, you know. And there's actually some comfort in that, in knowing that we're all in this together. And it would be really nice to know where you're from. So here we are in the southeast of England on a lovely sunny day. And where are you? So today I thought we would try something. I really like this. I'll show you something that I did years ago, and it was it's in my hallway. This is a stamp actually that I drew, and I looked at it last night and I thought that'd be a brilliant starting place for us today. And so what I did was I came up with a little kind of a doodled, more stylized version of it, just freehand. And I thought we could try this today. So what we need in order to do this is a piece of copy paper. There we go. And a pen. Right. And now how big is this going to be? If you take your hand, for example, and you go from your knuckle to about your fingertips. Are you ready to start? Should we get going? The whole purpose of this is to clear your head. Not stop thinking. Just stop thinking about all the things that are making you anxious. And so what we're going to do is we're just going to doodle and draw a picture together. Focus on what we're doing. And relax a bit. So we've got our square, which is about the right size. That'll do. Don't want to make it too big. And then what we'll do is on the inside of that line, we'll go round again, freehand. So it's a bit funky. See, if you like, you can always, if you feel it's easier for you to pull the pen towards you, then turn the paper round. And then that way you're not hiding what you're doing with your hand, you see. So we'll keep it nice and close to the edge, like that. Cool. And then when we've done that, the next thing we're going to do, you there? So let's have a look. Let's build this up slowly together. So the next thing we want to do is the land. So we're going to come down here like that and then across there. So we'll start about there. This is going to be the land. And we'll work our way down like so. They're always going to be a bit different, aren't they? And then we'll come up again like so. That'll do. And then let's make a path. Let's pretend this is a path. So we'll start it really small at the top. And then as it comes down further towards the front. There you go. Doesn't that look like a path now? See? A bit different to the other one, but that's fine. Okay, so we've got our path. Let's get our composition. Now we want 3 trees. So this is really easy. So what we'll do is we'll start about here and we'll just do, see we did trees yesterday. Right, there's 1 tree. Let's just do the heads first. And then we'll do the next one. So this one's behind this one. So we'll just make it a bit billowy like that. And perhaps what we'll do is we'll bring it in like so. So that's the sky there now, you see. If we were going to add colour to this, then that'd be just the ticket. Right, and then this one is behind the other one, isn't it? So there are the three trees, if you like. And now we'll put the trunks in. So we'll come down like that, but we'll make it quite fat at the top and then thinner and then out again. So we're going to come in like so, bring it down, and then bring it down like that, and then spread it out again. Again, this one's a bit further away. Every single one of us who's doing this is going to be creating original artwork, you see. But we need something just to focus on. There you go. So you can see what we're doing here just by putting these little V's in. These are trunks, aren't they? These are branches now. See, and they're going in underneath. You see that all right? Let's have a look on another angle. See if you can see it better if I do that. Right, see, it's quite straightforward. It's very simple. So you've got your 3 trees. There you go. So now we've got our basic doodle, haven't we? That'll work. And now we'll go back to our overhead. So the next thing we want to do, because we've got our outline now, is we're going to go, this is where we get into the real relaxing part of this. So what we're going to do now is make the outer edge. And we're just going to go through here and we're going to make little boxes. Watch. All the way through. And again, it may be easier for you if you turn the paper while you're working. Now you may think that this is boring, but it's in that moment that you just accept that this is what we're doing. We're going round and we're making simple little marks like this, and it's exactly now when you accept that this is what we're going to do that you'll start to relax. You watch, and round we go, and you can take your time. It's not a race. The whole purpose of this is to calm down, isn't it? Let's have a look. See, can you see better from there? I haven't got my head in the way now, you see. So you just go through like that. And all the time, you're looking at where the pen is and you're going from one line to the other. Look that. And what that will do is it will make you concentrate on exactly what you're doing. And that, my friends, is what it's all about. This is that mindful process that everybody talks about. So now we've done that, right? And what you'll find is straight away you start to feel more relaxed. Do you know what I mean? It's like, because what you're doing is you're concentrating on exactly what you're doing. And it doesn't matter that you're just putting little boxes around a picture that you're drawing. It's doodling, yeah? But it's taking you away from all those things that are making us so anxious at the moment. So now we'll start colouring in those little boxes, just with a black pen. We don't need anything else, but we'll go again and we'll have a look. So we'll start in the top corner, start wherever you fancy, and what we're going to do is we're going to colour in every other one. There you go. and you just take your time. And a lot of us, we would look at this and we'd think, that's ridiculous. That's going to take forever to go around there and colour in every other box. And there was a time, even though I like this look, I really like this look, I love this sort of stylised look. I remember in the 90s, Mary Engelbrecht, I don't know if you remember her, she was a really smashing illustrator. And she really, this was sort of her signature, all her frames were like this, really clever. But, you know, you look at this and you think, there's no way I'm going all the way around this by hand. And yet, it looks so nice when it's done. And now, here we are, all indoors, if we're sensible. We're not going anywhere. We're left to our own devices. We're left with our own heads, which is not always ideal. And then this becomes a fantastic escape, really. And where once upon a time, not even a month ago, we'd have looked at this and said, oh, I haven't got time to go around and do this. Now, it becomes a really useful skill set, like a tool, something that you can use. Something that you can use just to relax and switch off a bit. This is great for kids. This is great for anybody. This is great for older people, because it doesn't require any thinking, does it? You just got to go around. And you can decide what's the best way to colour it in. What do you think? Do you want to go around like that? Look, see? And then fill in? Everybody has a different way of doing it, don't they? Maybe you want to do that bit first. And then maybe you want to do that bit. Maybe you want to do... Maybe, this is where you get clever and you go wrong. Maybe you just want to do a little bit in the middle and leave a box around the outside. You know? That might be a possibility too. But either way, this black and white checker border, apart from being very attractive and always ideal for most cards, if you're making a card, this is for us crafters now. If you're making a card and you think, oh, it's missing something, add one of these to the outside and it will transform it. It always works. It just does. So, framework. Here we go. Just gently does it. See, it's relaxing because you know where you're going. I think one of the reasons that we're all so panicky at the moment, and you know, let's use the word, many of us are very frightened. I get these real waves of fear, right? I think it's perfectly normal. It's because we don't know what's coming, and we don't know, you know, we wonder, are we in denial? Are we missing something here? When you do something like this, apart from just absolutely getting engrossed in the process, and therefore not thinking about other things, because you can't really do this and be freaking out about the supermarkets, or you've got to concentrate. If you don't concentrate, even on something this simple, in a minute, you'll, believe it or not, you'll go wrong. So you have to concentrate on what you're doing, otherwise you won't like the end result. And the other thing about this is its predictability. You see, where we're living in a very, very unpredictable crisis at the moment, this, although other people would argue that it's very predictable, just, you know, provided you stay indoors and keep safe and reduce human contact and follow government guidelines, you know, you can actually, you do have a little bit of control over what's going to happen. But the thing about this is my point, is that as you go round, you know exactly where you're going, you know exactly what you're doing. It's very relaxing, this is. And all you're using is a bit of copy paper and a black pen, which is pretty cool, isn't it? So round we go. And like this morning, when the internet all collapsed on me, it's not the end of the world. It's just not something that I'm going to get upset about. I felt a little bit uncomfortable in my skin, only because I knew that there'd be folks getting irritated. Let me have a look. I've got that one and that one. Ah, look, see, I had a 50-50 chance here. So what I'm going to do is, I reckon if I do that, let's have a look if I... Yeah, there you go. I've created another box. There you go. Easy. Yeah, so the only reason that I was getting a little bit nervous and anxious was because I was feeling it for the poor people that were trying to watch, come in for a chill session and end up watching me go on, off, on, off, on, off. That would freak anyone out. So here we are again. Chill. Isn't it lovely? Yeah, I feel a lot better now. I do feel a lot better now. Let me just have a little sip. You know, there's nothing like a cup of tea. I don't know if it works for you like that, but a warm drink. I find it very soothing. It could be warm water, doesn't matter. Just something warm, you can feel it going down. And again, that's a mindful thing, isn't it? You know, this morning I looked out the kitchen window and the sun was pouring through the little window by the kettle because I was making a cup of tea. And I just closed my eyes and let the warmth just warm up my face. And it was so relaxing. And I think what happens is, what's happened to me over a period of years now, I've been picking up speed, you know, with clarity, with the company, and it's starting to gallop, and it's picking up momentum. And then it kind of gathers its own, it's like it gathers its own force, and then you're getting swept along with it. And in a weird way, this has really kind of forced my hand just to stop and reassess everything. And I'm sure that I'm not alone. So yeah, you've got to turn it round and look for the positives. And one of the positives for me is this kind of relaxing, doodling. You know, you can do this at any time of the day, any time, whenever you start getting a little bit frantic or nervous. Let's have a look at this. You can just take your pen and you can just start building your picture. Doesn't matter what you do. Just do 2 lines and start colouring little checkered boxes. There's loads of clever stuff, but you know what? It's all about arresting the thoughts that are causing you angst and focusing on something more pleasant. Right, so what we're going to do now is the shading. See, that's quite flat. Look, see the difference? Look, see? So now we're going to create a little bit of shade. We could do that with colour, of course we can. But what we're going to use is just a pen, just the same pen. And what we'll do is, we'll just do dotting. Let me see if this camera's better for you to see that. Here we go. Right, let's have a look. So if I hold it like that, you can see, so this here is the bit that's behind that tree there. So I'll put the first dots in and I'll hold the pen up, right? And I'm just going to stipple, 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 dot, 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 dot. Try and stay on the right side, right? It's a little colouring trick, really. There you go. So what we're going to do is just dip, 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 closer towards the edge, closer towards the line. You can slow down. You don't have to go fast, like that. And then as you get a bit further away from the actual, see, that works really well. And then where it's really supposed to be behind, you can always go in, see, go in with a line now. There you go. And you'll see immediately, see, look, you just go in like that, thicken that line a little bit. and you'll see how you get your shadow then. Look, see, ever so easy. It's a great colouring trick. Do that with a grey pencil, couldn't you? Just HB. There you go. Look, see how that tree now looks behind the other tree? Just look from on top and you see it. See? So that tree now sits behind that tree, and you can always add a bit more interest, and the looser it gets, the lighter it gets. Look, add a bit more, and then we're going to do the same thing on this side as well. Right, so let's just establish where that's what we're doing. Right, and now I know what I'm doing. I'm just going to go in slowly. You know, I blog every day, and yesterday I blogged some colouring postcards, and it'd be really great if you go to the website and just get a set. It's really good. They're lovely postcards, and they're the right size. You know, in a minute, not in a minute, but down the road, say in a week or two, we're gonna want to be doing some colouring. And what would be really brilliant is if all of us are working off the same hymn sheet. In other words, that we're all looking at the same picture, and I could say, right, let's look at the blue, in the blue postcard set or in the green postcard set, let's look at the birds, the geese, and let me show you a trick. And so then we're all working off the same artwork, you know, and then I can say, right, well, this is how we're going to do the beak, and this is how we're going to do the feathers, and this is how, and so that way, apart from already giving you an outline to work on, because colouring is one of the most mindful, colouring in is probably one of the most mindful processes that there is. I mean, do you remember that? Everybody went mad for it, didn't they, with the colouring? And we gave away a lot of those books, those colouring books, last year when it was our birthday. But we've still got some, and they're a bit big. They're on the big side for doing what we're doing. This is supposed to be far more mindful and relaxing. See? So I've done that one. Get it? Let's have a look. So you can always add a bit more. Just hold the pen up and just dip, 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 dip. Just, that's all you're doing. Stippling. In parchment, they do it with a needle, don't they? Just dip, 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 like that. And it won't spoil your pen. Let me show you another trick. If, for example, your nib goes a bit mushy, all you want to do is take the pen and just, if you're pressing too hard, if you just swirl it like that gently, these micron pens last ages. Sometimes if you press too hard, it's like you crush the nib, you break the nib. Don't worry about it. Just go like that and just swirl it like that, see? And then your nib will come back. It does. They're pretty robust. You have to really whack it to break it. Right. So let's do a little bit up here. Okay. Yeah, these colouring postcards. Let me show you the colouring postcard that I'm talking about. If I just show them to you, sounds like a sales pitch. Well, it is really. I need you to get these so that we can work together. But you see, there's 3 of these sets. They're beautiful, and each of them have got 7 postcards in them. So, for example, those are the geese I'm telling you about. But they're proper postcards, which means that in a minute you could send these. You could colour them in. They're beautiful for doodling as well. You know, like black and white Zentangle or pencils. But look, they're proper postcards, right? And they're really glorious to use. And they're also, what's the word? Like when you can open it up like that, like serrated. I don't think that's the right word. But you see what I mean? So you can actually take them out and they're a proper postcard. Isn't that lovely? So there are some gorgeous images there, beautiful images. Let me see if I can show you a couple on the other camera and then you'll get the drift. Right, let's have a look if we can see some of these images here. Look, see the owls? Look, they're lovely. There's the owls. And then we've got, see the mandarin ducks? They're upside down like that, aren't they? See the mandarin ducks? They're gorgeous as well. Hang on. Like, there they are, look. There's the mandarin ducks. And then, oh, there are the geese. There are the geese, look. So there are some beautiful, beautiful images here. A lot of this work is by our friend, Nuthatch, my favourite. Look at that. See? So what we're doing today with the dotting and what we're doing today with the stippling and putting the edge around, just to take a postcard like this and then take your pen and just make one of those edges, you know, these are fantastic anyway. Great value for money. We've dropped the price radically just so that you all join in with me. So yeah, claritystamp.com postcards. Right, so moving on, let's have a look. What are we on? So we've done our frame and we've done our, so where else have we got to go? Oh, let's do some birds. We learnt the birds. Let's come together, sorry, silly me. Right, so we've got our birds that we want to add. A little bit of, got some hills in the background and the rabbit. My rabbit looks a bit ropey. He looks more like a kidney bean with whiskers. But I practice over here. He's better, right? Doesn't matter, it's just for fun. So, first of all, we're happy with our stippling. You can always add a bit more. Then we've got our path. Also, you see, you could also add a little bit of a, you know, like the trees at the bottom, they've got a little bit of, let's add a bit of texture down there as well, a bit of interest. Then we've got our birds. Do you remember we did the birds? Down the front and then up the back. Should we do a third one like that? There you go. So you've got those there as well. And then we've got a rabbit. So here's a way to do a rabbit. Are you ready? So what we'll do is we'll do an oval like that. Can you see that okay? Let's see if this camera picks it up better. Maybe you can see it better there. So you've got your oval, right? And then you're going to put a little tiny, that's his tail there, like so. And then you're going to put a head on. Cool, that's a big head, Bob. Right, there you go. There's his head. And then let's colour it all in. So we've got the head. Cool, I don't know about this one. He's a rabbit. Hang on. Leave the tail white. He's having a bad hair day. Do you get it? Hang on, let's get his ears in. Okay, ears next. So we're going to go ear, one there, like that. Ears are crucial. So we do one like that. These are like the leaves that we were doing. And then we'll do another one there like that. Could be worse. You might want to practice your rabbits over here first. Not bad. It's obviously a rabbit. And then we'll go from the middle and we'll just flick out a couple of whiskers. I'm sure that they do have whiskers, don't they, rabbits? There you go. Anyway, it's all a little bit of harmless fun. And then in the background, we're nearly done now, we're going to come through. These are the hills, like proper in the background, look. So when you get to the tree, you stop, obviously, and then you bring it round the back again. See, so now we've got hills. So they could be like, that could be the woods in the background, couldn't it? So let's have a look at our lovely picture. Let's compare it with the stamp. See, same thing. But this was just done on a bit of old scrap, just a bit of old scrap copy paper. And then I stuck it onto a nice piece of, I like it anyway, little things. But you can see here the background, can't you? So this is just an old scrap that I stamped on. I could have drawn on it as well though. Right, so we've got our picture, we've got our little rabbit, we've got our birds. And so the only thing that I would like to add to this is the sentiment. So along here, let's start over here. I think this would be a good place to start. This, I find that when I write things, they sink in. This too shall pass. There you go. Look at that. Good as. And then we're going to go 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And this too shall pass, you know. This too shall pass. Everything does. And let's reinforce that, because now we've got it in place. Now we can go over the letters again. And go over the letters again and think about what you're writing now. Because you've got the position, you know where it is. So, this too shall pass. It will, you know. I know at the moment we're sitting in the middle of it and we think, oh, what is going on? You're not alone. We all think like that. But a year ago, even a month ago, we weren't really aware of it, were we? And a year from now, it will be different again. Because this too shall pass, my friends. Love it. So let's have a look from on top. There's a little fella. There's the birds. There's the trees. There we are. Do you feel better now? I feel a lot better now than when the internet kept blinking on and off earlier on. You see? And now we're going to do our stretching exercises, because we've been looking, haven't we? We've been heads down, doing our boxes, doing our frame, right? And then you think, oh, hang on a minute. Now, if you stretch, go up like that. Oh, I tell you what, that feels so nice. Oh. There you go. I enjoyed that. I really did. And by tomorrow, we'll have the internet back up and running. And if we don't, you know what? I'll record it. It's fine. People in Australia, people in America, they're not with us at 10 o'clock in the morning, unless they're really having a sleepless night. Do you know, that was one thing I wanted to say this morning. I woke up and I hadn't slept well. And I woke up agitated at about 4 in the morning. I thought, what is going on? Because I normally sleep like a log, to be honest. And then I realised that what I'd done, because I was so busy yesterday, I came in and I put on the 10 o'clock news. The news at 10 o'clock in the evening. Well, what a silly thing to do. So here I am at 10 o'clock in the evening, just before I go to bed, and I load my head with all that stuff that the news loads you with. There's no good news, is there? Not now, not at the moment. And then I take it to bed. And then I wonder why at 4 in the morning I wake up like this. Right? So I'm not doing that again. I'm not doing that again. And this morning, now, having had my little Zen session with you, I feel much better, much, much better. So I guess what we're doing here is we've got a little toolbox, a little toolkit, and we're filling it with little tools for life, little coping mechanisms, things to help us calm down, okay? So thank you very much for joining me. Stay safe, stay well, and I'll see you tomorrow. Lots of love now. Bye-bye.